So theoretically, I'm live. Yep, there we go. Okay, perfect. So welcome to Thursday Night Live with CJ Card Creations. My name is Christy Hillock and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Salt Lake City, Utah. If you can hear me, please let me know. This week is my second round with this platform, and I'm still just kind of getting used to where things pop up. So I would appreciate that. Hey, Janie, can you hear me? Hopefully it's coming through okay. So yeah, I'm so grateful that you are here. And if, you know, you can like and share, I would really appreciate that. If you share this video, please make sure that you comment shared in the comments for this video so that I can enter you in the drawing for next week. And Janie, you actually are the winner for this week. So you've got this pack of cards coming your way. So congratulations and thank you for sharing. And hey, Kelly, oh, thank you. Yeah, StreamYard is, I don't know. I think it's cool and it's got a lot of potential. And I do think that having two cameras is going to be really nice. But, you know, as with anything, learning is challenging. So anyway, well, I'm glad that you're here. I am going to be focusing on two more celebration products tonight. Celebration is almost over, you guys, like 4 more days, literally. So we have so many beautiful products, and I just think that if you haven't seen what I'm going to use tonight, I wanted to make sure that you did have an opportunity to see it. So I'm just going to switch my camera here, and there we go. Hey, Mom, thank you for joining. All right, so I've got the camera switched. Now let's see what else I want to do before we get started. Okay, so I was going to tell you there's still a host code in the description of this video for you to use. Hey, Aunt Pat. And I've got groups to join, pages to follow, all of those kinds of things. So you can look through that list, and I certainly appreciate every like and follow and all of those good things. And then we are right in the middle of the Beyond the Horizon Paper Pumpkin sign up, and I think this one is going to be gorgeous. Let me see. I haven't gotten out the paper pumpkin from this past month, but I did see that it has this flyer for, you know, just kind of showing you a little bit about what you're going to get. So the Beyond the Horizon goes with a bundle in our mini catalog, and the bundle and the paper are lovely, and I just really think that this is going to be, you know, kind of a knocked out of the park kind of kit. I'm just going to see if I can show you some of the paper that's in the catalog without dumping stuff all over everywhere. But I mean, it's just gorgeous. So it can be landscapey, or, you know, you can make it anything you want. So, and then that's some vellum. So definitely something to consider if you want to try that out. I think this is going to be a good month. Paper Pumpkin is just our all included kit that you get all of your crafts in a box, and then you just can have some nice crafty time without having to provide a bunch of other supplies. So I know, Janie, I haven't done much with it, but I think it is beautiful. So then I'm kind of right in between my monthly class to go kits, but I did this rainbow class to go that Erica Serwin, my upline, designed, and it is just so beautiful. So I think that my March class is going to focus on the rain boots, and of course I have no idea what the actual name is, but be looking for that. And yeah, so this is what we are actually going to make tonight. So I'm using the Sunshine and Rainbows paper and the Driving By stamp set, which is where that cute little bug came from. And then actually a third product, the Special Moments stamp set, is all sentiments with beautiful fonts, and it's going away. And I have used it on almost every card that I've made in the last couple of months. So I am really, really sad to lose that one. So if you don't have it, that one is $100 order to get the special moments, but I really think you'll use it forever. It's just so nice. So I'm gonna get out all of my supplies here. We are gonna do just a little bit of coloring tonight. And that doesn't really look like a little bit when I dump out all those markers, but I promise it's really easy. And then we'll do some punching and some cutting and just be all good to go. I even pulled in Wink of Stella, so we're going to play with that too. Just unloading my box. It's amazing how fast I can make an enormous mess. And I set things down and then it takes me 10 minutes to find them again. So it's really, I'm sure you all experience that in your crafting, but it is kind of remarkable. So I have a card base in Magenta Madness, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to do this in a landscape look. And then I've got 2 pieces of basic white that are cut to 4 by 5 1/4. So just like that. One, the full piece is for the inside. And then this one is for a mat on the front. And I went ahead and die cut my circle from this mat because nobody's ever going to know, and it makes it just a little bit easier as far as cutting paper. So we will use that. And then this is a pattern out of that paper. And then it's got these cute little hearts on the back. So this one is cut to, and I don't usually do 8ths, but I did. So forgive me. It is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So we'll go ahead and get this adhered just to start getting some of the pieces out of the way. So just before I went live, I could hear my daughter's Alexa. She's got an Echo Dot that she inherited from her brother when he got a better one. So yeah, my kids are spoiled, but oh, I don't want to do that. Anyway, she uses it to listen to Encanto and Frozen and what's the other one, Moana. And so the Encanto music is just so beautiful. It's really, I don't mind it, except that for some reason that little girl thinks that the volume needs to be cranked all the way up. So we're trying to explain to her that that is just not necessary. But yeah, it's been, Jonah only had school 3 days this week. So between that and the fact that I'm having new carpet put in part of my basement, it's just been a weird week. This is the first day that I've actually gotten to craft anything at all. So I'm really glad that I could do this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work on the car right now. So I'm going to stamp in Memento Black ink, if I can open it. There we go. And this is my little Volkswagen Bug. So how many of you rode around in or had one of these cars back in the day? I know my dad had one, which I've heard funny stories about over the years. But I remember, I think I was in high school when the new version came out, and they're still around, which I think is kind of interesting because they seem a little bit niche or something, but they're awfully cute. How they started with the flower and the vase on the dash was kind of fun. But I do also have a lot of memories of playing Slug Bug with my sister as we were driving around town. So this was just a really fun stamp to find in the Celebration selection. So I'm going to bring in my light Smoky Slate, and this one I am just going to use to do the center of the tires, just like that, and then the metal chrome bumpers. There we go. Now I'm going to bring in my dark Smoky Slate. And again, I always use the bullet tips when I'm trying to do really small areas. And I also try not to put down too much ink at a time because even though it dries fast, if you get a lot on here, it will kind of bleed out. So just get that tire, and I am leaving a white wall there. I don't know if bugs actually looked like that, but we're going to call it good. So there is that. All right, and then I decided to go with Granny Apple Green for the actual body of the car. And I'm going to start with my light and just kind of fill that in. So again, here I'm kind of trying to have a light touch so that it doesn't bleed. All right. And then obviously the bigger areas, you don't have to be quite so concerned. So there is that. Now I decided that my sun is kind of coming from up here. So this side and beneath are going to be more shadowed than the rest of it. I am not really much of an artist, so I just try to pick up little tidbits like that from, you know, different demonstrators and even other kinds of art. You know, I mean, just if Jonah's watching something about drawing or that kind of thing. So I did just put in a few spots, and now I'm just going to blend in those dark areas. Okay, so there is our green done there. Now I'm going to bring in my light pool party, again with my bullet tip. And this is so subtle, but I'm just going to do little stripes on the windows just to give a little bit of an appearance of reflection. So there is that. And now I'm going to bring in my dark Flirty Flamingo. And I didn't even bother with the light on this one because there's just really nowhere to shade on this particular package. So we'll get that one done. And now I'll do this middle one with some Bermuda Bay. So I'm starting again with my light. And these cute little stripes, I debated whether I wanted to try to have different colors, and I just decided that it's too much. So let me just shade under that kind of lid of the box, and then we'll kind of blend that out. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're liking it. All right, and then I've got the blues for that top. So I actually took my light Night of Navy and my dark Balmy Blue to get the blue package done. And just because our dark navy is dark, so I didn't want to completely take over here. And honestly, what I was looking for was more of the Misty Moonlight, just because that is the color that's in the designer series paper, but we don't have blends in that shade. So you can see it's starting to bleed just a little bit off that blue package, but it's super subtle. Nobody's gonna know. All right, so we are done with the blends. So I'm gonna get them out of the way. And I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella now. And this is another super subtle touch, but I'm just going to add that to the areas that I did the light smoky slate where it looks like metal. So there is that one. All right, now we're ready for some punching. So I've got, this is a pattern in the Sunshine and Rainbows, and it's got all these different cloud patterns. So what I'm going to do is bring in my cloud punch. Now I have also tried with fussy cutting these. They're super easy. So if you don't want to invest in the punch, that's totally reasonable. But punches are always nice. So I figured I would just go ahead and use mine. And I'm just going to cut this up so that I can reach the cloud that I want. Let's see, and I'm just trying to make sure that that white halo is even, and then we'll get that one. And now I'm going to go, I think I'm going to do the hearts. So just come over here. It's amazing how many clouds you can get out of one little 6x6 piece of paper, but it's so handy. All right, so there are our 2 clouds. Now I also have a couple different patterns of designer series paper out of that same stack. So this is going to go on our inside. So we'll set that there. And then I have, let's see, I was thinking I would use the suns right there. And then this one, and I think maybe I had 2 extras because or 1 extra because I just wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, but it might be kind of fun to use all 3. I don't know. Do you think that's too busy? Because it would be like that and then have the happy birthday there. That might be a little much going on. So maybe what we should do, I kind of like the soft sea foam and the Bermuda Bay, so I think we'll pull the crushed curry strip and set that aside for another project. I'm going to bring in my banner pick-a-punch. So this one is awesome because it's got the flagged end or kind of an arrow end. So I wanted to use both on this project. So first we're going to use the arrow end on our little polka dot pattern. And this strip is the 3/4 by 4.5 inch strip. So get that one. And then that's going to just kind of anchor the rest of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. You all are so quiet tonight. I can't believe February is almost over. I mean, it's just, I don't know. We hadn't had snow, I think, in 70 days. Surely that's not right. I don't know. It had been a really long time. And then the last few days, it, of course, was not forecast. And we have had not tons, but, you know, each morning I've woken up to snow. So I feel like it's got to be doing a little bit of good. All right, this one I wanted to just leave straight ends. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And that should do. Okay. Make sure that's reasonably straight. And now we need to stamp the sentiments. So we've got one for the inside and one for the outside. Yeah, I saw you. So you had snow all last weekend when you were trying to move, right? So did you get moved okay, or was it really just too much snow to battle? It's just never good. I always feel like December and July are when people move the most, and they are the hardest times to move. So hopefully you got through yours okay. All right, I think that's straight. Good enough. Okay, and while I've got the ink pad open, I'm going to go ahead and do this and the inside. So the inside says, just a card to say you're amazing. Oh, I'm glad this is enjoyable for you, Janie. I think it's fascinating. So I guess it kind of started when I would be up in the middle of the night taking care of Emily. And I would watch like those videos of people like stirring different colors of paint and making these beautiful collages or, you know, different art projects. And also the reels where people really speed up their coloring or, you know, whatever they're doing. It is just kind of soothing for some reason. So I'm glad that I am similar in that way. So open this up and get this centered. And I have a little smudge of something there, and I don't really know where that came from, but in this one, that is how I had done this strip of rainbow paper. But I'm thinking we could probably get away with doing that and cover it up and nobody will ever know the difference. So, oh good, I'm glad you were able to get it done. I can't wait to see pictures of your new place. I heard you picked some really pretty paint colors and yeah, just able to do some good things to make it feel a little more like home. So it's amazing how long it can take you to get settled after a move. I mean, honestly, so we've been in this house just over 10 years and there are still things that I'm like, wonder if I'm ever going to unpack that box, or, you know, maybe we should fix this problem now that we've had it for a long time. So anyway, all right, I am going to use the flag end with my sentiment strip, and this is just a 1/2 inch by like 3.5 or something. So I do always flip this punch over just because I want to make sure that it stayed centered. So we'll do that. And that. And that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm not going to glue that one on just yet because I want to get my clouds on first, and I am going to pop them up with dimensionals. So I haven't glued these together, and I'm not going to because I just, hey Jane, feel like that's one step that I can cut out to make this a little more quickly. So, oh Kelly, thanks. Yeah, I just feel like our celebration stuff never sticks around as long as I could play with it. So yeah, it's sad. But fortunately, unless you are, you know, a business demonstrator, you can keep playing with all your fun things. So that's why I say you should make sure that you get that set. All right, so those are loaded up. So I just used a couple of them positioned carefully to make sure that I will hold them together the way I want them to. So, hey Julie, that's all right. There'll be a replay. So you can always go back. All right, and then I do get it posted over to YouTube afterwards as well. So you can find me in multiple places. All right, so I think that those clouds look reasonably straight. So now I'm just going to pop up my cute little Volkswagen. And yeah, I hear you about wanting to get the unpacking done so that you're not having to look down as you walk around so you don't step on boxes and all of that kind of good stuff. So to clear out our basement so that we could get all of the carpeting done, we just shoved everything into the guest room, which is not being recarpeted. And oh my gosh, it's awful. I mean, literally piled to the ceiling. So I'll be glad when that is over. All right, so there's that little guy. And now I just kind of put the sentiment under the tires. So usually when I color, I would have done like a little bit of coloring down here to ground my image. But since I'm strategically placing my sentiment, I didn't feel the need to do that. So I am just going to be real careful that I get the dimensionals only on the ends of this so that it doesn't overlap with the popped up circle. And Julie, we were talking earlier. Did you ever have a Volkswagen Bug when you were younger? I think. So my dad had one, and then my uncle has his entire career has been working on Volkswagens. So they definitely were important in our family. All right, so the last touch here is that I'm going to bring in some of my holiday rhinestones. And I had to take your pick tool, but I don't know where it is. because, you know, that's how things go around here. So yeah, we're gonna use just the little tips of my scissors and that should be fine. So, issues going into reverse. Oh geez, that sounds like it could be problematic. It's funny when I'm parking, I try to make sure that I can pull through, you know, at most places just because I don't want to worry about backing into somebody or something or, you know, but yeah, I do like having the ability to back up. All right. So I can't even remember exactly what color they say this is, but to me it looks like Pool Party or Coastal Cabana. And it is just so pretty. There are so many pretty colors on this. And you know, we're getting near the end of our catalog period, and I don't know what is going to hang around and what will be going. Kelly, I'm going to have to look up a Maverick. I don't know that one at all. So, Jane, you had several. Wow. So important in your family too. Awesome. All right. Well, that is the card for tonight. I hope that you enjoyed it and maybe got a little bit of inspiration for your crafting as the weekend gets close. I really appreciate you guys. I look forward to this every week, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And I will, let's see, play with my little gadgets here. So thanks again. If you could like and share, that really means a lot. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye.